Am I right? All right. In part 2, it's interesting to know that when Jesus was brought to Pilate, after the Herodians have found him guilty because of his proclamation that you will see the Son of Man coming from heaven with power in the cloud, will come back. Because this priest asked him, I adjure you, are you Jesus? Are you the Son of God? And Jesus answered it. You want to know whether I'm the Son of God? Jesus cannot deny his identity. Cannot. He is the Son of God. And when he'll be coming back, when he's when he's going to be given the power finally to reign, he will stand tall and will come. And so when he told that man that they are judging that he has blasphemed and they sentenced him to death. Okay, they now took him to Pilate. Let me read it. Luke 23, verses 6 to 12. And you will see why Pilate sent him to Herod. 23, 6 to 12. Why Pilate sent him. When Pilate heard of Galilee, that Jesus was from Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod, because Herod was governor over Galilee, Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. They come to Julius Caesar as usual, because Julius Caesar, though is based in Italy, once in a while he comes around to Jerusalem to see the governors, what they are doing. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceeding glad, for he was desirous to see him. I read that to you, of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him in many ways, but he answered him nothing. Jesus did not answer. And the chief priests and scribes stood vehemently, accused him. And Herod, with his men of war, set him at naught and mocked him, and arrayed him in a gorgeous robe, and sent him again to Pilate. The same day, Pilate and Herod were made friends together, for before they were at enmity between themselves. So you can then understand why Herod only mocked Jesus, ridiculed Jesus with his soldiers. He expected Jesus to perform miracles. Jesus didn't perform miracles. And then these people who came to accuse Jesus were laying allegations upon Jesus. But Jesus never stopped. Jesus just kept mute. So when Herod saw that Jesus wasn't going to do nothing, he wasn't responding, that was okay, let him go. And he ordered his soldiers to ridicule Jesus. So that's all he could do, just to ridicule Jesus. But he didn't have mind to kill Jesus. He didn't kill him. So the threat that these people brought to Jesus that he should run, Herod wanted to kill him. But it's just a speculation. That's it. Now let's go back to Luke and see what follows in verse 32. In verse 32, and he said unto them, Go ye and tell that fox, Behold, I cast out devils, and I do chaos today and tomorrow. And the third day, I shall be perfected. Now, you can see Jesus talking hard. He used a hard word against error. They call him fox. You know, fox is a jackal. Jackal kills, it destroys. Why did they use the word fox? You know, you can imagine that that's what Herod deserves. Herod acted unintelligently, indiscreetly. He doesn't want to be a governor, honestly. And I'm going to look at his behavior and do a lot of comparison. I will compare him with the present government we have, political environment we are in now. And I'm going to consider this fox also with your pastors. Yeah? Because your pastors are also fox. They are jackal. And your president, the present president of Nigeria, who want to contest, the incumbent, is also a fox, a jackal. And I will tell you why I'm using this, just like Jesus used this saying for Herod. How? Why? See, the incident is this. In Matthew chapter 13, and that's exactly what your pastors are and your presidents are doing. They don't want to be there. Nigeria is, as we see, is honestly, Nigeria is, it's a conundrum. You know, Nigeria is not fit to be a nation, right? Nigeria is not fit. Because all this while, from 1960, we don't have rulers. We just have predators. You know, we have vampires. People who are not fit to rule and who are ruling. Okay, now look at this fox called Herod. See what he did in this case. I'm reading Matthew chapter 14, verses 6 to 11, so that you can see that the description of fox was appropriate for him. I read Matthew 14 from verse 6. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him, at meat, he commanded it to be given her, and he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel. And she brought it to her mother. Listen to that. A whole governor acting indiscreetly, acting senselessly. I mean, promising at host, whatever the girl. Look at this girl. Look at the story. This woman is the wife of the brother of Herod. Who is the brother of Herod? Philip. And this Herod hijacked this woman from his brother Philip's. All along, John the Baptist had been warning him on many things, which he respected and he avoided. But on this issue of the wife, Herod persisted that he must marry this woman. And he married her. But see what happened. The woman hated John the Baptist and wanted her killed. But Herod said, okay, instead of killing Herod, put him in prison. and he had been in prison. But this birthday thing, that's why, you know, your church is a mess. You hear them celebrating birthday. How dare them? A day that people die, a day blood is shed. Look at Pharaoh too. He had his birthday. And on that birthday, he killed the baker. Yeah? He killed the baker, his baker. I mean, I don't see why any sensible person will celebrate birthday. What's the essence of birthday? His birthday is for us to number our days so that we can serve God aright. It's not for very, frivolities. It's not for party like your people do. Look at Oyedepo. This boy that I'm talking about, KK they call him, himself, Fatoyinbo. I can't remember the boy's name now, but if I remember along the line I've mentioned, Fatoyinbo and Enenche, of Dynamos or Dynamics. And who again? Maybe Lazarus. They contributed money to buy a limousine and presented it to, this guy called Oyedepo when he clocked 70. And they must have forced this money out of their members, under their destructive threat. You don't bring the money, you're going to die. And you can trust them, they go ahead to pray that you will die. I mean, you had Adeboye saying that anybody that touches his wife will kill him, pray him to death, that on the day of resurrection, won't rise up. I mean, that's Adeboye. So these are a set of horrible people. So this guy, Herod, this girl was dancing dirty dance, seductive dance, toying with her body and, gesticulating the body and hysterically moving the body, in a seductive manner. And this is what got into the head of Herod and took and hold that, ask me for anything, I'm going to give you. Because I'm thrown beyond the cloud with this seductive, adulterous, dance. And he entered into that hole. And when the girl heard this, she was elated and ran to her mother. Hey, Mom, listen to what the king says, that he was ready to give me whatever. And the mom hated John the Baptist. So just to ask him that he should behead John the Baptist. And she give you the head and you bring it to me. Wow. The lady ran to her mom, to King. I want the head of John the Baptist. Don't you see that? And this stupid man, Fox, horrible man, ordered his killers, to straight away go and behead John the Baptist. And they put the head of John the Baptist in a charger and brought it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mom. Imagine. So, can you see justification in Jesus calling him a fox? Because he doesn't have brain. He's senseless. Now, having seen this, look at our government. This Emperor Tinubu, sadistic president. Look at all the nonsense he's doing. telling us he's ruling. Okay, he's sure that he's going to contest for 2027. Fine. Nobody is saying you don't contest. But then, Nigeria, in their wisdom, elderly ones, decided to set up a peace committee. This peace committee, their role is to invite all the presidential aspirants to come and enter into an accord that their campaign will not be toxic. They will not be abusing one another. They will do it in the interest of peace. And they only discuss germane issues that border on development, on agric, on digital, on electricity provision, on health provision, on infrastructure. There wouldn't be, reasons or basis for abusing one another. It should just be campaign for serious issues. And they invited all of them. Do you know, Tinubu, they don't need a representative from him. They needed him, like others, to append his signature. He didn't go. Just imagine. He didn't go. He has said it himself, this nasty, despotic Tinubu. He has said anything is fair in politics. Said anything, you can do whatever you like. The church, led by one of the cardinals. I don't know whether it's a cardinal, but I guess. And they met with him. Onayekon too was there, but he was not the head of the team. And they met with him and they read out the observation about his government. That the people are crying, no food, things are tough, that his reforms are not helpful. Yeah, the reform seems to be futuristic, but as we speak, it's not yielding results. As we speak, there's no food enough. As we speak, inflation is rising, hyperinflation. In fact, I just read this morning, the food inflation is going up, which means food is scarce. So they presented this to him that he needs to adjust so that people will have something to eat. Because since he removed the subsidy, the inflation has kept going up, and that's it. It can't come down again. Inflation can't come down. Inflation, because since the cushion, the support has been withdrawn, evidently people will be selling at high price. That's what is called inflation, which has now resulted in hyperinflation. And this Tinubu is not backing down. He still believes he's going to win, but his actions are, even the emperors, because he is acting as emperor, because the constitution gave him all the powers. But worldwide, royalty that I know that exists, they are subject to parliamentary decisions. Yeah, we have royalty in Britain. I mean, you don't see Charles act anyhow. We have royals in Dutch. Yeah, we have I guess, in some other parts of the world. They are submissive to the parliamentary or republican or democracy. But Tinubu is not. The same applies to Atiku. Although, for me, I don't reckon with Atiku and his, I don't know whether it's ADC they call themselves. These are a bunch of people who ruin this economy, who ruin Nigeria from day one. His vice, this one of Rivers State, they are all part of, the engineering damage to Nigeria. All of them. And they are the same who just pack themselves from the north and everywhere into that NDC, they call themselves. No, ADC. We have rejected them ab initio because we cannot allow such to run they can't win. Who will support them? To allow such people to come again, those who have dealt badly with us. I mean, it will be over our dead body to have this set of people to rule us. I mean, we are not praying for their return. They should go and go forever. They are just miscreants. Coming to do what in the first place? The only people that we are hoping to have, and we have prayed to God to choose for us, they are the likes of Obi, Seriaki, who are all in NDC. If they succeed, if they can see eye to eye, and they appoint one of them, they should all know that this presidency is only one person at a time. And I'm glad to hear that Obi is going for one term, one tenure, which is 4 years. I understand. I understand that Seriaki insisted on one term, and he accepted. Kwankwaso accepted just a term as his VP. Fine. Now, if one of them accepts to be the president of the Senate, why not? I mean, that would have been fantastic in this era. And that could be Prince Ade something, or first DP. Yeah, why can't he be the president of the Senate? And Duke, who is the president of PRP, why can't he accept to be the Speaker of the House of Assembly? That's a promotion from being a governor. Yeah, and they can, and then this boy, Showore, very active, accepts to lead the EFCC, and they have the support of Aisha Yusufu, I mean, Aisha can be deputy speaker, why not? And Kingibe, Mrs. Kingibe, can be deputy Senate president, why not? And flush out all these Wike, Tinubu, Atiku, flush them out. That will be fantastic. Why not? And that's our prayer. God will choose among them. God will give them the mind to work together. Sure, should not insist that he wants to be president. First of all, I know he's active, but for me, he doesn't have the experience to lead as president for now. He should learn the ropes. And afterwards, it will be his turn, maybe in the next 4 years or 5. Just one tenure. You will have learned. You will be seeing what they are doing. Once he's in the cabinet, of this person, whoever is there, he will learn the ropes. And in 4 years or 5 years, he will sound to be the president. If you can be that patient, why not? For these 5 years, he can play other roles. Be in charge of EFCC. Why not? And we have a better Nigeria. So that's why these ones are all fox. Now, to your pastors. Your pastors are the worst. Your pastors. They are fox as well. They have nothing to contribute. They are useless. In this 32, Jesus spoke about his miracle that is here, still here. And as is here, in this verse, that he's still going to perform healing. Yeah, he says he's still going to perform healing. He was telling those who are telling him to leave that he's not going just like that. He still have some days to do some good work. You can see, he said, look, in that verse, Luke, verse chapter 13, Jesus still emphasized what is coming, what he's still going to do, that it's not over yet. He told them that, go and tell him, all of them, that error, that fox, that, behold, I cast out devils, and I do curses today, or chaos, heal today, and tomorrow, and the third day, I shall be perfected. So, for now, the first day, will still be doing his miracle. But on the third day, he will be perfected. That's when we go to the cross. So tell the fox, he's not going yet. He's still going to be doing his miracle until he stops on the cross. Yeah? And after saying that, he said, I shall be perfected. So he was talking about his death. You know, death should not threaten a believer. That's what he's trying to say. You know, I mean, we're not to be threatened by death. Death is part of our agreement. So he was now concluding in his message to the fox, to Tinubu, and to the present, people, those who are thinking he was going to leave so fast. He now said in verse 32 and 33, he said, go ye and tell that fox, I'll be perfected. I will still do miracles. He said, nevertheless, in verse 33, I must walk today and tomorrow, and the day following, for it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. He says he wasn't going to just die cheaply like that, like others. He's not going to perish like that. His own prophet is different from others, and that he will accomplish his calling, and that he wasn't going to perish out of Jerusalem. Yeah, he will still accomplish what he wants to accomplish in Jerusalem. He will be there, right? But Pilate will eventually get him to the cross. So it's not, a Christian ought not to be afraid of death. Death can come anytime, and we must be ready for it. Right? We must be ready for it. Now, let's go to verse 34. I still believe I'm in part 2. In verse 34, this is where Jesus condemned Jerusalem for atrocities. He said, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killed the prophets, the old prophets, not the likes of Jesus, and stoned them that are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, as a hen doth gather a brood under her wings, and ye will not. Here in verse 34, Jesus was condemning the atrocities of the people of Jerusalem. With all that Jesus did to save them, they refused. Look at what this Jerusalem had done to prophets that God sent to them, because they were that wicked. And God sent message to them to desist, send prophets, but instead of them to, chicken in, stop this their evil, they never. They continue. Look at 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 15 to 16. This is what God said about their behavior. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 15 to 16. And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up the times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people. See, there was no remedy. That's what led to God sending them to Babylon. For 70 years, they were bad people. They were evil. All efforts of Jesus to rally around to help their children, the children, when he came, proved abortive. He tried to preach to them, but they stuck to the teaching of Moses. And if they are stuck to it, judiciously, that followed it right, that would have been good. Unfortunately, wrongly. All right, I stop there, and then we'll come to the church. Why the church is